Nigga cushion I got some damn bitches I can call. I don't know what I would do without y'all. I'm a boss to the day I fall. Yeah, as long as my bitches love me. Yeah. If I go no head, as long as my bitches love me. My bitches love me. My bitches love me. My bitches love me. Yeah. Pussy ass niggas got hating. Y'all got pussy on me. And really all like ladies, man. Pussy when the week cold in, she say my dick feel like She wake up, eat this dick, call that breakfast in bed. 6996, I feel her heartbeat. I'm chest to chest with this bitch. Now turn around, face down, I'm arresting this bitch. Yeah, all my bitches love me, and I love all my bitches. But like soon as I come to my senses, and I would say these hoes' names. But then I would be snitching, and these haters try to knock me, but they can't knock me off the hinges, little town shit. Yeah, I got some damn bitches I can call. What's happening? I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do without y'all. I'm a ball. My bitch love. Fuck about no headlines. My bitch love. My bitches love me. My bitches love me. My bitches love me. I lost a few good bitches, met some more bad bitches, and I be schooling them niggas. Supposed to be your class pitching to kiss my ass if you ain't. I'm getting ass, so I'm scared. I lost a few good bitches, and some more bad bitches, and I be schooling them niggas. Supposed to be your class pitching to kiss my ass if you ain't. I'm getting ass, so I'm scared. Bitch, I'm on that good cushion, I got touch. I got some damn bitches I can call. What's happening? I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do without y'all. I'm a ball. My bitches love. The way I see it is that you got two types of men in this world. You got the men who sing along with Lil Wayne when Bitches Love Me come on. And then you got the real niggas who is at church when that shit come on. And all we sing is the verses and the ad-libs. Cause that song is church. No disrespect to the Most High. But that song is church. For real. Like, I know Lil Wayne done made some dope ass music. There is no reason that song should be so damn good. There's no reason that song should be so damn good. Let me see how we look if I turn off the light. I feel like I'm looking too bright right now. Boom. How's this? Yeah, it's a little better. I ain't like that shit. It was super bright. So, what's the word, y'all? Yesterday, when I made my Charlie Kirk video, I said in the video, I haven't even been on the blue side of the internet because don't, lots of people in America don't really think like me. I don't really align with the Democrats or the Republicans. Um, I listen to everybody when they talk. It's just very simple. Um, and also, if you look at the extremes of either party, there's evil afoot. But that being said, we all know that modern day liberals, unfortunately, are they, they seem to be demonic, honestly. And I say seem to be because I know everybody's not that. And I know everybody who votes blue is not an extremist liberal. But this is the party that when you say things they don't like, when they disagree with you and they can't make you feel bad with their words, they wish violence on you. They wish death. And then they come for your income so you can't feed your family. So yesterday I didn't want to see it because I knew I would get mad. But I knew it was happening because A, they danced on Kevin Samuel's grave when he died. They tap danced on his grave when he died. On a much less serious thing, on a much less serious note, they were all celebrating when my TikTok account got taken down. Knowing damn well that's probably some money for me. And if you don't like me, you could have just kept scrolling. So I know for a fact that Charlie has said some problematic things that were just opinions based on facts that he read. I know that there are lots of liberals who didn't like him simply because he's unapologetic about how he feels. They also don't like him because he's not really, they also didn't like him because he wasn't an asshole. Charlie was a nice man. He just wasn't going. He definitely said some things that I didn't like. But so what? I grew up a Lil Wayne fan. In my professional opinion, as a listener, Lil Wayne could have kept 32% of his music. In my opinion, that don't mean shit. That 68% though, my nigga, should be on repeat. So why would I dislike somebody for what I don't like about them when there's so much more about them that I do like? More importantly, if I don't like somebody that much, I just don't pay it any attention. You know? Just like there are liberals right now in this comment section who are saying, I'm gonna report this live to try to get you taken down. It's pathetic. Why do y'all have to be so pathetic? It's just pathetic. You see, when liberals get on the internet, they forget that they have thumbs. You could scroll. You don't have to be here, but you're here. Just like that chump who shot Charlie. He didn't have to be there. You know, I had a wonderful argument with a man earlier. And the only reason I had an argument with this dude, because typically I don't argue with people in person when I'm right, because I'm not getting paid for this. But I will argue with you about something we disagree on if I respect how you think. You see, unlike a lot of red pill creators, I don't argue with people when I know I'm right and I don't respect how you think. Hey, somebody in the chat just called me gay. That's another thing that liberals do. You see, they're very pro libiquita until they want to use sexuality as an insult. But I digress. I had a very nice argument with somebody today, and it wasn't even it was we weren't even starting an argument. It just turned into one because I was like, yo, I was in kind of a messed up mood yesterday because they shot Charlie. And the first thing he said was, yeah, but you know, when you speak like that, it invites a certain type of. I said, bro, shut that shit up right now. How can you sit here and say because someone speaks their opinion about political issues, they deserve to die? He said, I'm not saying they deserve to die, but what I'm saying is, you know, when you say things like that, you have to, you know, sometimes there are consequences for your actions. So we argued about this for 10 minutes on purpose because I was setting them up. And I said, so you have a sister. If she goes outside in a revealing skirt and her butt cheeks are out and she's sexually assaulted, that's on her because she brought that on herself with her choice of wardrobe, right? She said, no, now you're he said, no, now you're victim blaming. I said, bro, you just sat there and victim blamed for 10 minutes. He said, who? Like, look at all the hateful liberals in my comment section right now. It's beautiful. We love it as people who talk about how evil you liberals are. We love it when you prove our point. Because as a liberal, you don't have to pay attention to people who say things you don't like. And I also told, you know, by the way, you guys are allowed to give more than $2 super chats. What the fuck is $1.99? Just for the record. Just for the record. It's a disrespectful tip. You could have kept that to yourself. I'm just saying. $2 is not support. You watching this live is support. I fucks with you heavy. But to go and type and give $2, don't do that. Just don't do it. It's insulting. Because who the fuck do you think I am? I'm tired of acting like everybody's $1.99 is special. It's not. I got the brokest super chat in history. Either because I am the voice of the broke, which is fine. Broke people deserve to be entertained too, especially when they pay their phone bill. So if I am the voice of the broke, I accept that. Or I'm the voice of the selfish and cheap, which is okay too, because you save me your money in this economy. But I do notice that when people preach actual hate, their super chats be juking. For the record, $10 is respectable. It's not enough to make me read that comment though. Thank you. So, like I said, there's so many people in this chat who are coming here just to say negative things. Like somebody's supposed to give a fuck. What these people don't understand is that, hey, I'm at work right now. If I wanted to just have a good time, I'd be smoking this blunt watching Avengers. I'm literally at work. So when I'm at work, my skin's a lot thicker than normal. First of all right? Second of all, you could be anywhere in the world hating right now. And you choose to be here, hating on your boy. God bless you. God bless you. You hear me? So after this man victim blamed Charlie Kirk for his own death for 10 minutes, and I told him he was victim blaming, he did what y'all do. Instead of just saying, you know what, you got it. He said, you know what, let me re-say that. Let me try to make my words cuter while saying the exact same thing. Hold on. Somebody just asked a question. I always forget to do this. So let me, how do you do this? Oh, here we go. Boom. Because I'm supposed to be putting, I'm supposed to be being a real creator. You're supposed to put the Cash App and where people can support the channel, on here. I have where you can support the channel at in the description. But in case you want to do Cash App or whatever, here you go. It's not a real poll. It's just telling you what the Cash App is. So don't treat it like it's a poll unless you really want to. So it turned from a whole Charlie Kirk thing, because I think it was I think it's disgusting and hypocritical that liberals want to say it's never okay to victim blame until it's somebody you don't like. Aren't the liberals the ones who told us we can't victim blame? You know, just like I told the homie, I said, so if your sister goes outside in a short skirt into a club full of men and she gets sexually assaulted, that's on her, right? He said, no, you're just victim blaming now. I said, you just did it for 10 minutes and you're talking about death. So he was like, well, let me just, I said, no, I'm not going to let you rephrase that. You said what you said. That's the problem with y'all. You never admit that you're wrong, ever. And I was like, and what did Charlie say to you? I said, and what did Charlie say ever that was so bad to the point where he deserved to be shot? He said, well, he said things that a lot of people disagreed with. I said, and? And? Seriously, and? I said, so your sister deserved to be assaulted if she goes out dressing like that then, right? He said, no, people should have more control. I said, like the motherfucker that pulled the trigger. What the fuck are you even talking about? What are you even talking about? Yeah, there's a lot of haters in the chat right now watching, but I'm just blessed that they're here. Honestly, they could be literally anywhere hating on somebody talking about this. But they're here doing what they do, proving my point. And all day, I've been seeing liberal videos from people celebrating and dancing the death of a man who never made one policy. All he did was run his mouth. The people in the background of TMZ, they were caught cheering, celebrating. That boy Dean, who's supposed to, he was crying on his live or whatever, seeming so genuine, but he had a poll going on in his Discord or wherever he has. Did Charlie Kirk deserve to get shot? Teachers all day have been making these videos, and teachers all day have been getting fired all day because you're a teacher. Why are you making a video celebrating somebody's a murder? And speaking of school shootings, let's talk about school shootings. The name of my podcast is going to be, whenever I start it eventually, I Can Fix America. You know how we stop school shootings? You treat every school like schools in the hood. Metal detectors and police. Problem solved. Next. School shootings happen every week, every couple days, but they don't want to put metal detectors in every school. Why? The aesthetic. You don't want to put a metal detector in this nice Catholic school, the vulnerable one? Yeah, all right. That's the other thing about liberals. Liberals act like they care about children. They don't give a damn about these children. If liberals cared about children, they wouldn't be obsessed with teaching them about sexuality. And it starts and ends there. You care about yourself. You care about the world being more comfortable for you. We argued about that today too. I said, because it's a sexual identity. Y'all like to forget the word sex when it comes to sexual identity. Why does your sexual identity have to be your personality? Why are you asking if this is an LGBTQ friendly workplace? Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck who you fuck. This ain't 2001 anymore. It's 2025. Nobody gives a damn. But he said, well, because gay people are still getting beat up when they walk into the street. No, they're not. No, they're not. That's just like saying there's still a large pay gap between men and women in the workplace. No, there's not. The problem with people who like to be victims forever, they don't like to accept the fact that they've won. The gays won. You have all the rights. Nobody can discriminate against you. You won. Revel in the victory. Bask in it. You always got to find a way to be the victim, though. And I don't mean you won as in you took out Charlie Kirk. I mean you won as far as they used to be discriminated against openly. Now you cannot discriminate against them. You used to not be able to adopt kids. Now you can. You used to not be able to get married. Now you can. But what else are we talking about here? You won. Like, good. I'm proud of you. You won. You fought battles, led legislation. You were passionate about it. You won. Bask in the victory. Why do you have to seek to oppress the way you were once oppressed? I was like, why is there a book called The Gay BCs? Who the fuck is this book for? He said, why shouldn't gay people be able to teach their kids the way they want to? I said, they can in their house. Why does everybody else have to know about it? You do what the hell you want to in your house. That's another conservative value that I hold. Now, there are lots of conservatives who just feel like gay is an abomination, gay is wrong. I'm just not one of those. I'm not. I'm very Christian. I love Jesus. You just can't convince me to be one of those. I just don't feel that way. You love who you love. And that's when I used to be liberal, when they were under attack for loving who they love. And I hear you on what the Bible says, but we're not living in Bible times. The Bible also said that you're gonna go to hell for eating a certain type of meat on Sundays or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get into that. What I want to know in defense of the ubiquitous, the regular ubiquitous, what I want to know is if they're not forcing you to care, why do you care about what happens in their bedroom? You see what I'm saying? It works both ways. Why do you care about what happens in their bedroom? Counterpoint, I don't care about what happens in your bedroom. Why do I have to know? Don't give a shit. Don't care. Never will. That's your bedroom, your private parts. I don't give no fuck. I ain't never did. And ain't never will. So I'm talking to him, and he's like, well, the kids need to be aware. I'm like, no, they don't. I said, in a conservative's mind, you're allowed to live your life and do what you want to do. But if it's about your sexuality, you shouldn't do it around children. I said, I'll tell you, most conservatives feel like if you're a non-binary or a them, they of any kind, if you're a pronoun person, you shouldn't be able to teach in an elementary school or a middle school. High school's whatever. It's actually pretty good for high school. It prepares them for the world and shit. But why are you so thirsty to be around children expressing your sexuality? It's your sexuality. You don't have to be fucking non-binary at school. What's between your pants? That's what you go as. What do you look like? That's what you go by. I've always said, and I stand on this, there's nothing wrong with being a very, very, very feminine boy, and there's nothing wrong with being a very, very, very masculine chick. It's been male cheerleaders my whole life. It's been girl softball players my whole life. Your personality is who you are. But to feel like you got to change your genitalia, that's your life. But it's evil if you're telling children they have the option to do the same thing. It's pure evil. It's pure evil. You don't want to let a kid get a tattoo, but he can mutilate himself. All right. All right. I don't know. I don't know how many of y'all is parents who done gone through this, but I can only imagine how conservative I would be like to my core if I had children in modern day America. I still have a lot of liberal values. I have a lot of conservative values. Just like you heard me say, I don't think it's wrong for people to be gay. I don't think it's wrong. But a conservative will be like, what does the Bible say? And I'm like, well, we have to agree to disagree. Because I don't really care what they do. I don't care. Why do you care? That's when I used to be very liberal. Because I used to say, why do you care? But now it's, why does this have to be around kids when you know it's a sexuality? So I couldn't get him to agree that we should keep sexuality away from children. Which is why I don't argue with these types of people. And when I say these types of people, most liberals, because they're not open to the possibility of being wrong. Then I said, bro, but it's only sexuality. It's sex. Why are we so obsessed with these kids knowing about sex? He said, because kids have sex. Let's be honest with you. I said, in elementary school, son, in middle school, do you want your kid having sex in middle school? Do you hear yourself, son? And then fam said, I said, and you know how you know it's about sexuality? It's because every time they celebrate themselves, they're 7/8 naked. You would think we could at least be like, yeah, they don't have to be naked all the damn time when they doing that shit. That nigga said, and that's fine. I was like, yeah, I just, whew. This is why I don't talk to y'all about this stuff. Because the more they explain themselves, the more evil they sound. And I literally told him, I said, bro, you a good dude. You a real good dude. But you sound like you have a lot of devil, a lot of the devil within you. Lena, keep speaking the truth. Thank you, Lena. I appreciate you. Um, I said, bro, you sound like you have a lot of the devil within you. I said, and I'm not trying to insult you, but you have to remember the city that you're from is the devil's playground. This is literally the devil's city. So if you got any way of thinking from this city, 9 times out of 10, it aligns with Satan's values. And he just wanted, he didn't, people will know how bad Chicago is. They just hate it when you say it. And then in defense of the ubiquitous some more, he tried to tell me that the ubiquitous struggle is very similar to the black struggle. And I was like, bro, you're Mexican. I'm not going to tell you about a black struggle. I mean, about a Mexican struggle, ever. In all due respect, all of us blacks hate it when you try to say that the gay struggle and the black struggle is the same. All of us blacks. 97% of us hate that shit. Because it's nowhere near the same. Not even close. Don't play with me. So we had a very healthy argument. And at the end of it, we shook hands. You know, and I remember texting him afterwards and was like, I wish Congress could do this. I wish Congress could just do this in front of people and people can vote and they decide who they want to be here or don't. You know what I'm saying? Like because he didn't insult me. I didn't start calling him a snowflake. You know what I'm saying? It did get heated and we shook hands and walked away. And I was a little disgusted because I think children should be protected. You know, I feel strongly about that. Children should be protected. They shouldn't be introduced to sex. I just don't, I'm not with that shit ever. Nobody can ever talk me into being with that shit. Gator don't play no shit. Gator ain't never been about playing no shit. I don't play when it comes to protecting children. It's disgusting. Speaking of disgusting, there were so many disgusting posts today celebrating that man's death, a la Kevin Samuels when he passed. And people are so stupid. Like, you're a teacher. And you don't think you can get fired for that? Man, they got rid of like 8 teachers in Iowa today, 3 in this county, 3 in some other county in whatever state. They've been getting motherfuckers out of there. Because you're a teacher. You shouldn't, people don't, why do you not think you're not supposed to be held to a different moral standard publicly? You can have your opinions, but to dance on the grave of someone who was shot in front of their children, Bitch, I don't want you teaching my kids. Man or woman, bitch. I don't want you teaching my kids. And what's really funny about a lot of liberals, they're just like Giraffe Wallow. They're fueled by hatred. Lots of liberals are fueled by the thought that they're pissing off conservative-minded people. It's so sad. It's so sad. Because someone doesn't like what you said and they scroll or they'll leave a comment, and your whole essence, you get energy from that, from feeling like people hate it. Yeah. Like me, I don't get any sense of pride from having haters. I know they exist, and I know haters make you grow. More importantly, you'll never not have haters if you're doing anything and you're opinionated. You know, it comes with the territory. Um, but I get my energy from the love. But that's just me. Maybe I'm a psycho. I don't know. I don't wake up thinking about the people who might be jealous of me, like a certain redwood tree filled with 8 million cockroaches. Just think about how sad you have to be. You're a fully grown redwood tree, a fully mature redwood tree, in all your might and glory. Big bark, you know what I'm saying? A car can drive through you. Just big bark, big beautiful redwood tree. And you're such a big redwood tree that you can house 8 million cockroaches. But it's just not enough. You have to feel like people hate you. It's not enough to have an entire ecosystem of 8 million cockroaches. It's not enough. You have to use your cockroaches in a negative way. Well, not even that. You just have to wake up every day feeling like people are jealous of you because they don't like you. That's tough. That's so tough. That poor child. That poor child. But I'm very glad that teachers are getting fired if they're making videos celebrating someone being murdered. Because teachers don't realize how important that job is. You're molding the minds of the youth. You shouldn't be pushing off your personal beliefs on your students. You should be teaching them whatever you're teaching them. One of the best teachers that I ever had, this college professor. She taught U.S. history before 1877. It was the dopest history class I ever took, and it made me care about history. Because I was very immature when it came to history for a long time. I was always like, man, it's just before me, so it doesn't matter. But the purpose of this woman's class, it wasn't for us to regurgitate names and dates for tests. She said it over and over again. The purpose of this class is who got what and why. More importantly, she said, and I'm a human, so I may mess up sometimes, but I do my best to take my personal biases out of every lesson so you can decide for yourself how you feel about America based on who got what and why. You know damn well I signed up for the next class, U.S. History after 1877. I still got all my notes. As a matter of fact, I need to come on here and give y'all them lessons to, and the way I took them notes because who got what and why is a perfect way to learn American history. The reason I speak Spanish so well is because I had this dope ass teacher. She was a white lady. She wasn't a Hispanic lady. I was a freshman in high school, but I've always had these ears. I listen when people talk. Um, she said, as a native English speaker, you have to drop any preconceived notion you have about English. She said, in every other language around the world, the languages are like a formula. You learn the rules. She said the languages are like a math formula. You learn the rules, you plug and play. But with English, there's all types of silent letters, different rules. The vowel sound at the end of a word will change the vowel sound in the middle of the word sometimes. Other language other languages don't have that shit. English is made up of like 16 different languages put together. That's why people have a hard time learning English. As a native English speaker, you don't understand that. But in English, the letter A can be a, depending on what word, and if the E at the end of the word changes the sound of the A in the middle of the word. In Spanish, A is a. A is a. And a is all the time. Always say it in Spanish, a is a, todo el tiempo. And they're like, claro. You know, aprendiendo español es muy fácil si quiere aprender, pero aprendiendo inglés es muy difícil porque tiene que saber las reglas, tiene que saber letras silencias, tiene que saber reglas tontas. No mames. It doesn't make any sense. English literally takes words from other languages and will leave it in that language and pronounce it the way they pronounce it in that language, but they call it English. It's just facts. As a native English speaker, you don't know this stuff. You just grow up speaking English. So yeah, after she told me that, I was like, oh, this is a bet, because I like math. I'm a big fan of math. So, you know, you learn how to conjugate the verbs, the vowel sounds. I can spell everything in Spanish if you say it twice. So yeah, so after he said it was okay that they be 7/8 naked during their pride things with children around, he said that was fine. I thought that was heinous. And the only reason, like, I didn't really judge him was because A, I know we live in Chicago and people are blue. And they just talk their way around to be blue no matter what. But also, when you respect the way someone thinks about a lot of things, you can't just immediately think they're a just a dumbass because they disagree with you. you know. But I just feel so strongly about the fact that kids need to be protected from these ubiquitous because it's sexuality. Because now an 8-year-old, because they just want to know, they want the kids to be able to feel like they have the right to choose. But we're still talking about sexuality with kids. They don't even hear themselves. They're kids. Why are we introducing this to kids? Last time I checked, all throughout elementary school and middle school, nobody gives a fuck about boyfriends and shit until the kid brings that shit around you, saying, hey, I think I like somebody in my class. You don't go around telling kids, hey, whenever you start having crushes and stuff, it's okay to like boys and girls or whoever. It's just, why are we introducing this to kids before they're... It makes my skin crawl. So then the man said, so you're saying that if I put on a dress, that I'm less of a person? I said, no, but if you put on a dress, you shouldn't be around children. You're a nigga with a whole beard. You're a grown-ass nigga with a beard. And you put on a dress and you want to go be around children? I'm sorry. Say it again. Like, honestly, when they talk, I just let them. But the only reason I argued with them was because he's a smart guy. You have to understand, this is under the premise of I respect how he thinks in general. We have to get away from, because I'm a firm believer that if you genuinely agree with somebody how they think, for the most part, just because you disagree with them one time doesn't mean they're a bad person or they're an idiot. But disagreeing about something can be big enough to make you change how you view them and you realize you don't want to interact with them anymore. And honestly, I just feel like kids need to be protected from these ubiquitous. And if you don't feel the same, I don't know how to talk to you. Because it's about sexuality and you want kids to have one. I'm a grown man. I don't want any kid to have a sexuality. Like, and I'm strictly talking about the non-binaries and the transes that want to be teachers. Because what did I say earlier? There's nothing wrong with being a very feminine boy or a very butch-like girl. You just are who you are. Now, high school is a different situation. College is a different situation. But even still, you shouldn't force a motherfucker to call you by a pronoun. You want me to call you Teacher Darren because you're a chick wearing a fucking backwards hat, calling yourself a non-binary. Teacher Darren. You better get the fuck out of my face. You see, that's why they just shouldn't be teachers, because fuck all this shit. What's your name? Well, you know, I'm a fucking Zer. It's my pronoun. Zer Zim. Zim Zim Zimma. It's my pronoun and shit. That's fine. Why do you want to be a teacher so bad? Why do you want to be a teacher so bad? Why do you want to be a teacher so bad? Why do you want to be a teacher so bad? Doesn't even pay well. Why do you want to be a teacher so bad? All right. And if you wonder why I've been kind of irritated lately, um, it's because they shot Charlie, and I liked him. That's why. Sorry. Sorry if I haven't been pleasant. Shit. I didn't like everything he said. I'll give you a perfect example. I disagree with every single white person who says black people shouldn't get reparations. I'm not going to have a passionate debate with you about it because let me tell you why I'm right. First of all, when every time throughout modern American history, when they wrong people as a whole, they financially compensate them. Even the Jews got financially compensated after the Holocaust, and that didn't last as long as slavery. And nobody's shitting on the Jews at all. Nobody's saying the Jews didn't deserve what they got. I'm using them as an example. This is not anti-Semitic speech. So, well, never mind the moral aspect. Let's talk financials. Do you know what I could do if I had one person and I got 1 month of free labor out of them? Now imagine hundreds of years from an entire group of people. Free labor. The free labor literally bankrolled the birth of this nation. Tobacco and cotton. So you got the moral aspect and the financial aspect. My ancestors' labor literally bankrolled the birth of this nation. It is what it is. So, I don't argue with people when they say stuff like that. When they say stuff like, well, black people shouldn't get reparations. Charlie was adamant about, why should I have white guilt and have to pay for that stuff? I would have told him what I just told you. I wouldn't have wished death on him. And if he would have disagreed with my point, I would have said, well, I think you're wrong as hell, and we have to agree to disagree on this point. I wouldn't have wished death on him. But hundreds of years of free labor bankrolled the birth of this nation, literally. And if we're keeping it a bean, let's be honest. Barack Obama, black ass, spent his whole presidency telling niggas he couldn't do shit. Meanwhile, Joe Biden sent all that money to Ukraine, billions, whenever he felt like it. You know, that just shows you what they can do whenever they feel like it. It will probably cost a few $billions to give all black people a certain little check or whatever, you know, but that would be a one-time expense. And they've already proven, especially with the Biden administration, when it's something that they want to do, they don't have to try to figure out where the money's coming from. So guys, I actually have some real life stalkers, and it's super ubiquitous because they're grown men. And I don't mean in this chat. I got this one chump on Instagram. I don't know his name, but he keeps tagging me in the videos he makes about me. Some are like freestyles. Like, you can always tell when a light skinned nigga listen to Eminem heavy. He's for sure one of them niggas. Like, heavy into Eminem. Man, I haven't watched any of these videos. I just see that he keeps talking about me in like a negative way. Um, he be in the comment section of a lot of my videos recently. I just want to make it loud and clear to everyone. I feel like I gotta tell everybody every time I go live. I apologize for ever make ever making you feel like you with your no view getting ass. Even when you at me and tag me and shit, you still get no views because nobody in your city likes you. And I don't mean like I'm sarcastically saying, well, I be getting hella views and you don't be getting a couple. No, all of these videos don't have a like or a comment. Not a like or a comment. You hear what I'm saying? You hear what I'm saying? I wish I was exaggerating. Not a like or a comment. Women never acted like this when it came to the single mom stuff. Grown women never acted like this. Y'all tried to act like women were more upset than they were, but they weren't. Grown women never was trying to get at me the way these ubiquitous are and these grown but hurt men are. Cause even still, like on like TikTok, they got my shit kicked off of TikTok or whatever. But I was checking my inboxes and stuff. I wasn't getting a bunch of like hateful inboxes from women. They be in my comment section talking shit about me and shit and talking shit on everybody else's comment, but I wasn't getting weird inboxes from women. I got a couple. The only inboxes I got from women during that on TikTok were a couple of women thinking that they were funny and they just weren't. But it be from these men. I knew these liberals was going to be online celebrating his death like this. I knew it. It's absolutely insane. But not really, because I knew it. They're going to be dancing. Well, y'all, that is my time. No, wait, I got 5 more seconds, 3 more seconds, 2 more seconds, 1 more second. All right, it's been a full hour. Y'all, that is my time. It's been a wonderful live. God bless every single hater in here. God bless every single liberal in here who was in here trying to throw personal attacks when I'm over here talking. That's it. That's truly it. God bless every single person who is just cool and likes to laugh. And I'm sorry that I haven't been extremely funny over the past couple of days, but they shot Charlie. And I haven't cried about it because I didn't know him personally. And also, I wasn't like like a Charlie Kirk head. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not he's not an entertainer. You know, he's somebody who makes good points. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. It's just been disgusting watching them celebrate his death for real. So I'm sorry that I haven't been my usual hilarious self. Um, I just feel like it's disrespectful to like y'all saw my Charlie Kirk long form video. I didn't put a bunch of like edits in there and stuff because I just didn't think it would be in good taste. It would be different if somebody else did my editing, but I do it myself. So but watching all these folks dance on his grave ain't doing nothing but making America more conservative. Because they're showing how evil it is. Even these politicians are taking these opportunities to get sound bites. Taking this opportunity to talk about why we need gun control. Man's had 2 kids. One of them can barely walk, and the other one was a baby. And now they're gonna growing up never knowing who their father is / was. But this is the party of people who tells you you should never, ever, 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 ever victim blame.